You ever sit in a conversation and someone asks you a simple question and your brain just goes blank? Or you are reading something and you have to go over the same paragraph 3 times because nothing is sticking. Maybe you watch other people make quick decisions, connect ideas on the spot, and you wonder why your brain feels like it is running through mud. Here is the thing nobody tells you. Your brain is not slow. You have just been training it to be sluggish without even realizing it. Every time you scroll instead of think, every time you let a screen do the work for you, every time you avoid anything mentally uncomfortable, you are telling your brain it does not need to show up. And your brain listens. This is not a motivation problem. This is a training problem. And just like a muscle that has not been challenged in months, your brain has gotten comfortable doing the bare minimum. But the good news? Neuroscientist Michael Merzenich, one of the pioneers of neuroplasticity research, proved that the brain can physically rewire itself at any age. His work showed that with the right kind of mental challenge, your brain does not just maintain itself, it actually builds new neural pathways and strengthens existing ones, which means thinking faster is not a gift some people are born with. It is a skill you can develop. Let us look at how using someone who figured this out the hard way. Nate was a 26-year-old marketing coordinator who constantly felt one step behind. Meetings moved too fast. His manager would ask for his take on something, and by the time Nate had organized his thoughts, the conversation had already moved on. He started to believe he just was not sharp enough for the role. But Nate did not have a slow brain. He had an overloaded one. This is where psychologist Daniel Kahneman's work becomes important. In his book, Thinking, Fast and Slow, Kahneman explains that the brain operates in 2 modes. System 1 is fast, automatic, and instinctive. System 2 is slow, deliberate, and effortful. Most people think they need a faster system too. But the real problem is that System 1 has become so cluttered with noise that it cannot do its job properly. Nate checked his phone over 120 times a day. He had notifications from 4 different messaging apps. He kept 11 browser tabs open at all times. His brain was spending so much energy filtering through garbage that it had nothing left for actual thinking. The first change Nate made was cutting the noise. He turned off every notification except phone calls. He started checking email twice a day instead of every 15 minutes. He deleted 3 apps he only opened out of habit. And within the first week, something shifted. He was not necessarily thinking faster yet, but he noticed he could actually finish a thought without getting pulled somewhere else. That matters more than people realize. Research by Dr. Gloria Mark at the University of California found that after a single interruption, it takes an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to fully return to the original task. That means if you are getting interrupted 5 or 6 times an hour, you are never actually reaching full cognitive speed. You are just constantly restarting. Nate had cleared the runway. Now it was time to actually train the engine. The second change was forcing his brain to struggle. Most people avoid mental discomfort. If a problem feels hard, they Google the answer. If a decision feels overwhelming, they ask someone else. If a book feels dense, they switch to a video summary. And every single time, they rob their brain of the one thing it needs to get faster: resistance. Anders Ericsson, the psychologist behind the concept of deliberate practice, spent decades studying elite performers. His research, published in his book Peak, found that the people who develop exceptional cognitive speed do not just practice more. They practice at the edge of their current ability. They sit in the discomfort of not knowing and force their brain to work through it. Nate started small. Instead of reaching for his phone during downtime, he would try to mentally calculate the tip at a restaurant. Instead of asking his colleague for the answer in a meeting, he would sit with the question for 30 seconds and try to work through it himself first. He started doing crossword puzzles on his lunch break, not because they were fun, but because they forced his brain to retrieve information actively instead of passively consuming it. Within a month, Nate noticed he was responding faster in meetings, not because he had suddenly become smarter, but because his brain had started to trust itself again. It had been given permission to struggle, and it rose to the challenge. The third change was the one Nate resisted the most. He started moving his body.